What is the most important sales letter you will ever write? Why must you write it? And how do you do it? I'm going to show you all that in today's short video. My name is Ray Edwards, and I will teach you how to write the words that sell. So let's get to it. What's the most important sales letter you'll ever write? It's a sales letter you write to yourself, to convince yourself to achieve your goals for this year. I believe 2021 represents the biggest opportunity you've ever had as an online entrepreneur. So if you're just getting started, it's the right time. If you're starting over again, it's the right time. And this is the way to make sure you achieve your goals. Let's go to the computer. I'm going to walk you through how to write the most important sales letter you will ever write, a sales letter to yourself. We're going to start with a little bit of goal setting. So stick with me. This will be worth it, I promise. Step 1, brainstorm all the linchpin goals you can come up with. You should try for a minimum of 50 or more. And remember, they all need to seem or be impossible for you now. So some linchpin goals might include make $1 million, build our dream house, lose 150 pounds, run the Boston Marathon, buy a ticket to the moon. You come up with the 50 linchpin goals. And by the way, they cannot be impossible goals that are ridiculously impossible. You might take that buy a ticket to the moon thing as being ridiculously impossible, as being an escape from the task of coming up with goals that could be achievable by somebody. Well, actually, you can buy a ticket to the moon on one of the several space companies that are already accepting space fare, even though they haven't yet built the vehicle, which, by the way, they've set a linchpin goal for themselves, which forces them to do certain things. So brainstorm all the linchpin goals you can come up with. Just make a blank sheet in your journal. That's your worksheet. Brainstorm all the linchpin goals you can come up with without letting your pen stop. I recommend you pause this recording. You write until you can't come up with any more linchpin goals before you go on. Then and only then do you move on to step 2. I'm giving you time to pause. And I'm assuming you did the exercise. You did step 1. You brainstormed a bunch of linchpin goals. You did not just skip ahead and think about doing it without doing it. Did you? Because you know by now, if you know me, that writing is the doing part of thinking. And if you haven't written it down, you haven't done it yet. So if you haven't done it, stop the recording and go back and do it. Step 2. Out of all the linchpin goals you brainstormed, identify the one that will make all the others easier or unnecessary. There is one that will jump out at you from that list that you realize, well, if I do this, all these other things are things I can buy, have, do, be, pay for, or don't need anymore. That's the linchpin goal. And step 3, for those of you who are now stuck, stop pretending to be stuck and decide this one goal. Pick one, just pick one, and make this your linchpin goal. Once you've got that done, we'll move on to step 4. So it should only take you a moment or so, because you're going to stop pretending to be confused by this. You're just going to go ahead and do it, and you're going to move on to step 4. Now that you have your linchpin goal selected for the year, brainstorm 25 outrageous outcomes you will commit to in the first quarter of the new year in order to achieve your linchpin goal. And let me go ahead and tell you in advance, these are 25 things you're probably going to fail at if you set them ambitiously enough. So these are outcomes. These are not tasks. So you would not say, I'm going to make 100 sales calls a week. That is a task. You want outcomes. So an outcome could be appear on 50 podcasts in quarter 1 related to my topic. Publish my book. Have at least 50 influencers on my podcast that are related to my topic. So these are 25 outrageous outcomes you're committing to do everything you can to make them happen in first quarter, knowing you probably will fail at most of them. Why on earth would you do this? This reinforces you're becoming the kind of person who achieves these kind of things and moves you closer to achieving your linchpin goal. Once you've committed to these 25 outrageous outcomes, step 5 is simply to write yourself a sales letter or a manifesto, if you will, selling you on why you must achieve this goal. You're writing the most important copy you'll ever write. Copy changes the world, by the way. That's why we're using it as a tool in our goal-setting practice. Words create wealth. Words create worlds. Think of the great speakers and writers of the past who've created new realities with their words. Moses, Jesus, Marcus Aurelius, John Adams, Mark Twain, Ayn Rand, Brené Brown, Rachel Hollis. Words change worlds. So write a sales letter to you. And I recommend using my pastor framework for all persuasive writing, which is pastor, meaning you're a shepherd. You're shepherding yourself to a good decision. Each letter stands for a component of the copy you're writing. P stands for the person, the problem, and the pain. You are the person. You know the problem. You understand the pain. The A stands for amplify the pain and speak to your aspirations. The S tells the story and struggle you face, the solution you find. The T stands for transformation and testimony. The O stands for the offer. In other words, if you do this, this is what you'll get. And the R is the results, the end state you're going to end up in. This is the framework for writing the sales letter. And here's the thing you have to do that most people are going to rebel against. You got to make it hurt. You got to get dead honest with yourself. So here's mine for this year. Attention, Ray Edwards, read this or die. If you don't change these things, you're going to bleed regret. Dear Ray, you've heard the saying, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Well, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. I get it. It's hard to face up to the fact you've been wrong for 54 years. That's water under the bridge. The really stupid move would be to make it 55. Here's what I know. And I go into selling myself on why I must achieve my linchpin goal and my 25 outrageous outcomes, the person I must become, and why not becoming that person would be synonymous with death. Once you've written this sales letter, your continuous practice needs to be to read your sales letter every day. It should not be a 20-page sales letter. It should be a couple pages. You need to feel it. You need to hear it, taste it, smell it, experience the emotion, the reality here and now every day as you read your sales letter, which contains for you the description of your linchpin goal, your 25 outrageous outcomes for the first quarter, and the reasons why you must attain them. Review your goal every day, review your outrageous outcomes every day, review your sales letter every day, and focus on the person you're becoming, and you will achieve all your goals. So get that sales letter written. Let me know the goal you set, any questions you have about how to do this, and any feedback you have on the response you have to the idea. I'll read every comment. I'll answer every one I possibly humanly can. And I want to hear about your results as well. So be sure and let us know about that. Until next time, may you enjoy long life, great health, much prosperity, and I pray peace for you and peace for your house. See you in the next video.